Hello everyone, welcome all our friends online. Such a beautiful day today, isn't it?
It's a beautiful day every day.
You enjoying the cookies? Okay, everyone is comfortable. Don't make too much noise with the packages, please.
No, provide something softer. This is crunchy.
It's crunchy. It's too crunchy for you. Okay, we guys have complained. Everyone is comfortable at home. Okay. So good to see you all. We are on the second class of Kabbalah 3, which called Windows in Time. Windows in Time. So what are windows in time, my friends? So this is a very unique Kabbalistic understanding that you won't hear in anywhere else. So they use the ability to use time to own benefit, So let's say you go into the ocean. So when it's very wavy, what is the commanded thing to do when it's very wavy? To sunk in. Yeah, no, let's say we're already in, it's becoming wavy, the wave is coming, what are you going to do? Try to defeat it? No, you sink under, you have to hold on to your breath, and when it's passing, now. If you have a board, surfing board, so when there is a wave, it's an opportunity. It can take me to a place and I can have like an amazing joy just getting from one place to another. Yeah, so taking a use of the wave. So windows in times, meaning that we have the capacity within the year to have different vortexes that allows us really to charge ourselves with more energy. And vice versa. There are days that we better stay at home because they consider to be more restricted. They consider to be more judgmental. So the year is not just whatever happens, happens. Yeah, we do have the ability to control our life, but we also need to be aware of the weather, whatever weather it is, so you cannot play it Superman and in the middle of winter in Canada, you're just going out with the shorts. It doesn't make sense, isn't it? So as physically, so as spiritually. If we understand that in the cycle of the year, there are so many different opportunities, and there are so many different, in a way, difficulties that we should look and be more careful and charge ourselves with more energy. If we're aware of that, most likely that our year is going to be much better. But if I live like a round-on life, don't really understand the meanings of the month, the meanings of the weekend, the meanings of the different windows out there, I would be surprised why things are happening and why days are more difficult than others. So here we're going to receive an introduction because it's all mastery. The Kabbalist deals with it in tens of books, just about the specific windows in times. Yeah? So today we're going to have an introductory over them, see how the cycle of the year goes, and what does it really mean, year, from the Kabbalistic perspective. What is a year? So the word year in Hebrew, which is the sacred language, called Shana. And not by coincidence, Shana, it's 355 days. That's the numerical number of the letters. 355 days. Which is very similar to the Kabbalistic calendar. Now, yeah.
Wait, why is it only this week?
Why it's not 365 days?
Yes.
Yeah, because we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that because of the aspect of the lunar inverses to the aspect of the solar. Okay? We'll get into that. But the word Shana, year, it's coming from the word root shinui. Shinui, that the cycle of 1 year, if I'm taking it right, I'm supposed to be a different person after 1 year. That's the whole purpose. That's, everything is like, oh, it's not just a calendar. It's just not like, let's pass the days. No, it's a cycle of 365 days that I'm supposed to, if I'm taking the right advantage of the events, I'm going to be a different person. And I'm going to upgrade myself year after year after year after year. Instead of falling into decay, getting old, I can become younger, I can become smarter, I can become stronger, I can become more elevated spiritually. If I'm surrendering to what we call time, space, decay, of course, we're just getting shrinker, and things are not so great, yeah? But everything is proven. We can defy gravity, we can defy it, and we can start reversing age. It's a fact now, scientifically. So how we can do it on a consciousness level? So I want to share with you something that the teacher, the Rav Berg, put on in a book called Days of Power, which I really recommend, and we're offering even a discount for this book, so you can get introduced to that. So Kabbalah, however, absolutely and completely reject the remembrance or recognition as a basis of holidays. In place of commemoration, a Kabbalist focuses on connection. That is the opportunity to tap into the unique energies that exist at a specific point in time. What we call holiday. With this mind, the meaning of the title Days of Power becomes clear. The holidays are literally power source that we can access using the teachings and the tools of Kabbalah. Those tools include prayers, ceremonies, the Bible, the Zohar, and continuing. So we coming from different backgrounds, cultures, there are different holidays. But when we're coming to those Kabbalistic holidays, which consider to be windows, so we know that it's not about celebrating something for the family or event which is related to my culture. No, it's a day that I can tap to a certain energy that's going to cause a growth that I cannot receive in a standard regular day. Okay? So a verse from the Zohar. Let's read it for the connection, the vibration that comes from the Zohar. רבי אבא פתח ואמר, מי יעלה בהר השם ומי יקום במקום קודשו, תחזיקו בני עלמא, לך אמן עלמא קיימל מאמן, ויומין נזלין וסלקין, וקיימי קמא, קודשא ברכו כל אינון, יומין, דבני נשא, קיימי, באו באי עלמא דעה, כולו יתבריהו, וחולו קיימי לאלה ומן אלן יתבריהו, דכתיב ימים יוצרו. Who can read for us the English? Who volunteer? Daniel, take the mic.
Rabbi Abba opened the discussion with the text, who shall ascend into the mountain of Hashem? Is it working?
Continue.
Or who shall stand in his holy place? Tehillim 24:3, come and behold, no man is aware of the reason for his existence in the world. Men do not seek to know the purpose of their lives on earth. As the days pass by with no return, they rise up and stand before the Holy One, blessed be he, as they were all created and have actual existence of their own. How do we know that they were created? Because it is written, the days were created. Tehillim 139:16.
Thank you.
Okay, beautiful. So what this verse is actually explaining us, that every day is meaningful. Every day is meaningful. And every day is an opportunity really to seize a certain energy that is available for us, that the Creator designed specially for us to extract the light. And if I decided to take a vacation from my spiritual work, from my consciousness, say, you know what, today I'm checking out. It's Sunday. I had a hard week, working all day, working all week. I'm checking out, sleeping till 1 in the afternoon, waking up, watching Netflix, checking out completely. Spiritually, it's not super healthy. Why? Because when you're checking out, you're kind of missing the opportunity to seize the energy that is available on that day, which this energy is not available on a different day. Yeah? So you would see at times that days are harder for you than others because there is a bigger correction waiting for you on that day in terms of your tikkun. Okay? So days at times are more challenges regardless of the calendar of the year. For me, there are more challenges. Why? Because on a similar day in my past reincarnation, I actually did something terrible. That day is coming back so I can correct that day. Can you imagine how sophisticated this wisdom is to tell us that every day is important. Yeah, okay, I can take off from work, but it doesn't mean that I need to turn off my soul. Yeah? So every day is an opportunity, and if I wake up every morning and saying, okay, Creator, what do you want me to do today? How can I extract and maximize this day in terms of my soul? That means that you already declare that you have a soul purpose, not just a career purpose. Yeah? So try to remember that.
Here. What about these days are no good energy, or maybe you need to be more passive because the storm is there?
Sure.
What happened with that day too? Because in the term you say you take the opportunity when it's some challenge there, but that day is better. Sure. Don't take decision. What's going on with that day?
Sure, absolutely. So there are days, yeah, or maybe I shouldn't take like a huge decision making. I should be cautious. I should be kind of, down tempo. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I need to turn off my soul. Yeah, that's a different thing. I'm using what I know. I'm using the technology, then the wisdom, the knowledge to be careful. So if I know that it's a day that is more restricted, I would arm myself with more spirituality, with more tools, with more prayers, with more meditations. Yeah? We are right now in days that considered to be more challenges compared to the rest of the year. So those are called the days of the Omer. So they have more judgment. They're serving a purpose. When things are not going our way, or things are much more difficult, and our Satan is drilling in our head even stronger, it's good times. That's the way the Kabbalists look at that. They're saying, actually, those days is days that you can reveal even more light than days that everything seems to be so perfect. When days seems to be so perfect and everything go my way, it's the time of harvest. When days are not really going well and everything, wow, bring it on. I love those days because this is the time the true light has been revealed. Remember that. I just need to learn how to handle them. Mike.
So are you saying that you need to experience struggle in order to receive more light or more enlightenment? Like you have to go through darker times to build that resilience, or is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, we're going through those days anyways, do we? So the Kabbalah suggests don't be afraid of those days. They are necessary. They are part of the system. Just understand that if you handle them right, not reactive, they actually bringing more light than when things going great. That's the point. This is the change of mindset that we need to understand. There is no such a thing, positive day, negative day, according to Kabbalah. No, every day is withholding is most amazing opportunities. That's the point. Yeah, but I have to change the way I'm handling the day because of its energy. If the energy is judgment, if the energy is more merciful, yeah, I have different approach to those. That's the reason it's so important to be aware of those days. So what is wisdom in time? Just as there are physical windows in time to the planet to plant seeds, there are also metaphysical windows in time to plant spiritual seed that bear fruit in our life. There are optimum times to take decisions and to connect to certain energy, and times that it's better not to do so. Okay? So let's say in this time of the year, in this month, if you take very crucial decision, most likely that they're going to be wrong. Most likely. You're going to see it, you're going to say, wow, amazing, I see what I need to do. You're going to make a decision during this time, a big one, get married, change your work, sign contracts, things like that. Most likely it's not going to be successful. Why? Because there are different curtains that blocking me during this time to see the full spectrum of my decision making. Simple. So, when we look at the tree of life, so first, how the year is structured. So we have, every year we have an anniversary, okay? In the Gregorian calendar, we know like it's the 1st of January, everyone is celebrating the new year. Great. There is energy in that, but it's not the energy that comes from the cosmic. It's actually the intention that everyone is in one intention, the same mindset of, wow, it's a new year, it's a new fresh start, everyone is hopeful. It's creating also an energy. You feel that in the beginning of the year? Yeah, we feel that. Why? Because everyone believes that this day is powerful, it's become powerful, but not necessarily from the place of the cosmos, okay? Because the cosmos and the celestial, or let's say how the planets, because how we determine the calendars, according to the circle of the planet Earth around the sun, yeah? And in the lunar calendar, we're adding the phase of the moon around the Earth. So everything is pretty much from our perspective, and this triangle that we have between moon, sun, and planet Earth, very, very important. Very important. They all represent something. Yeah? It's like the atom. They represent the atom. They all needed to function right. We need the sun for oxygen. It's giving life. We need the moon. It's so one is the electron, one is the proton, one is the neutron. So we are, in a way, the neutron. So scientists, they don't see really what is so significant about the neutron, but the Rav said that it's the most important thing. Because he's the one that actually is the center column. So as you see in the tree of life, there is right column, left column, and center column. So we need in this world to create center column. Whatever happened during the day, I'm balancing it up. I'm determining what's going to be the consequences of what's happening. So we have the cycle of the year. Yeah? The cycle of the year, so meaning that we have the anniversary, but on the Kabbalistic calendar, there are a few anniversaries. There are few New Years, because we are dealing with different attributes of, what we have in this world. We have few different aspects of this world. We have humans, yeah? We have animals, we have plants, and we have inanimates, yeah? Each and every one of them has his own anniversary. Interesting, no? Because everything was giving birth in different times, and they're all important because they're all taking part in this universe. So the year is also divided to two important anniversaries are the birth of human race and the birth of physical matter. Those are considered to be, according to Kabbalah, the most important one. Yeah, plants, animals, also important, but those are the most crucial. Why? Because we also human, we have a soul, but we also matter. So we have both. Yeah? We also have animal and we also have vegetable inside of us, plant inside of us. We actually composing the all four together. Yeah? So we are in reality the most important creatures in this universe. But the physical reality was created on the first month of the year, Kabbalistic year. How the Kabbalistic year starts? So it's lunar solar. It's a mixed calendar between the lunar solar, and it's very similar to the structure of the signs of the zodiac. So what we have on the sign of the zodiac, which is the first month? Aries. So this is a new year, and there is a huge opening there. The beginning of that month, and on the 15th of that month, there is a huge, very, very huge opening. Okay? So that's the first anniversary. Now, 6 months later, we have the second anniversary. You see, the year is already divided to two. So one, we said matter, the physical matter was created, the Big Bang, all matter was starting to mold together and the world become what it became. And let's remember, if you go back to the script, that's considered to be the first day of creation. Yeah? Now it's interesting, because when you go to the Gregorian calendar, what people doing on Sunday? Taking a day off. Yeah? But what happened on Sunday? The first day of creation. It's the beginning. In Hebrew, it's called Yom Rishon, first day. So first day relate to creation. Sixth day was related to the creation of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve weren't, according to the biblical text, weren't created on the first day. We created after everything started to mold together. Sixth day. So how does it relate? We have the first anniversary, which is the month of Aries. The second anniversary is the birth of humanity. Exactly 6 months later. So the year is divided to those two. And it's very interesting. Look how sophisticated things are, how much knowledge that nobody has a clue. Even if you go to many of the Jewish people, they have no clue how everything structured, because everything was hidden in the books of Kabbalah, which were concealed for so long. So now, we have the beginning of the year. Yeah? So this is what we call the desire to receive. It's the left column. We have the second part of the year, the seventh, like the birthday of humanity, of the human soul. This is the birthday of each and every one of us. And it's happened usually, if we bring it to the Gregorian calendar, between September to October, something around that. It's never fall on the same day on the Gregorian. I will explain you the difference. But it's always the first day of the month of Libra. Always. Yeah? The new moon of Libra, sorry. We're saying that the Kabbalists measure according to the new moons. What does it mean, new moon? What does it mean, new moon? How do you know if it's a new moon or not? There is no moon outside. No moon. This is new. First day you see a crescent, something. You see the light is already shining in one angle. You see this kind of a crescent, yeah? This is the new moon. You look outside, all the stars are there, the moon is not there. It's covered, because it's according to the phases of how the sun shines on it. You see the interconnection between the sun and the moon and Earth, because we are watching from Earth. If you watch from Mars, you're going to see a different phase of the moon over the sun, do you? It's all related to where we are. Are there people on Mars? Not yet. Maybe soon. Elon Musk is working very hard towards that. I don't know if I'm going to volunteer to go on I'd rather stay here for now. But many people kind of becoming so devastated and lost hope for this humanity, say, okay, let's start a refresh one on Mars. Okay, but we're not sure if that's what God meant exactly, okay? So, yes. Question there and question here.
So do Kabbalists believe there's other beings in other planets?
Yeah, so it's so if there are aliens that look different, not necessarily. There is no real evidence. If this us in the future communicating with the past, that's possible. Because we will have eventually the technology to travel in time. Us in the future will be able to communicate with us in the present. That's a possibility, actually. Yeah?
Sorry, can you repeat it?
Yeah.
Maybe we can consider fallen angels as aliens.
So yeah, but angels, it's not aliens, it's angels. So there are different entities that we talked about it in other classes. There are demons, there are angels, there are different, but it's not aliens. You understand?
So I just want to clarify, you mentioned that the first month would have been the month of Aries, where the physical world is said to have been created, right? Did I get that right? And perhaps humans came into creation in the 6th or 7th month. Is that what you meant?
Yes. 7
Okay.
months.
So, and you also spoke about the week, and you said Sunday is the day of creation. How are they related? Like there's one time frame for the year and one time frame for the week, right?
Yes, good. We get there.
Oh.
So now we are coming to that. So there are a few marks over the year. Yeah, we have special holidays, we have New Year's, and also we have the division of months and weeks. Do we? That's the way we live. No, not by coincidence. There is an importance to that. So from the year we come to the month, we know that the new moon, according to Kabbalah, it's very important. It's the birth of a new cycle of new energy. So we actually saying it's an opportunity to plant the seed or to handle the specific energy of that month, because the zodiacs representing different energy that occurs in that year. Yeah, so we have 12 different energy cycles. So in order for us to maximize what we're going to receive from that month, we always make a connection, a meditation, a prayer on new moons. Why? We want to control the events of that month. We want to take charge of what this month prepared to us. Every month has these ups and downs, as it's good and bad, as it's faults and pros and cons. Yes? Every month. We just want to make sure that whatever happens, it's going to be used to our benefit. It's going to help us to grow. In Hebrew, in Aramaic, month means chodesh. Chodesh coming from the word chadash, which is new. You see, no coincidence. It's all technology. It means the month is a renewal, an ability for me to renew myself. So we have 12 of those. Also, there is a reason why there are 12 signs. 12 months for the year. 12 cycles. Now we are coming more to the week. So the week, we have 52 weeks during 1 year. 52, 56? 52, yeah? So when we're coming to the tree of life, we know that the tree of life is structured from 10 emanations, yeah? Now, the 3 upper emanations are not connected so much to the physical reality to our daily routine. It's not. But the lower 7 are. And that's the reason why we have 7 days in 1 week. So one considered to be Sunday, which is Chesed, Monday, Gvura, and so on, till the 7th day. So the 7th day is so important day in our weekly cycle. Very important. Many people look at Friday, the Muslim, for them Friday is the most important. For Christians, Sunday is the most important. But in terms of the structure of the physical, 7 is always a very, very important number. Yeah, that's the reason we have 7 continents, 7th relatively planet in our solar system, and so on and so on. Because 7 is a cycle. Is a cycle. That's the reason, no by coincidence, we decided to have 7 days a week. It's not coincidence. It's meaning something. And the 7th day, as we see it, it's called Malchut. Malchut. You heard Malchut before? Yeah? Malchut means the kingdom. So it means that this is the seed of that week. On the 7th day, we can control what's going to unfold for the upcoming week. So we also, in Kabbalah, make a huge effort on the 7th day. We don't go to work and we connect. It's a long day. It's a hard day of connection. We invest a lot of hours. Me personally, in the past 22 years, invest a lot of hours of connection from Friday night till Saturday night. Now, why from Friday night? That's something that is also very important for you to know. The day changes to the next after sunset. In the Bible, it says, Vayi Erev, Vayi Boker, Yom Echad. Will be night, will be morning, one day. So the day actually starts after sunset. So today we are on Wednesday, but Kabbalistically after sunset, it's already Thursday. It's not after midnight like we carry our calendar. Is that making sense? So the 24 hours frame of Shabbat starts from Friday night till Saturday night. And that's a day that if you want to take advantage of the window that exists, that is the most available than any other window because it's available 52 times a year, more than anything else. But they say about it that it could be even more important than the rest of those holidays windows that exist. But because it's happened on a weekly basis, because every day I have like 365 days, one day I can, not fully be invested and making an effort. So I take it slow. Are you excited on a daily basis saying, wow, this is the rest? This is the one day that could be the last day of my life. What would you do if you know that, God forbid, that tomorrow would be the last day of your life? What you would do? How would you use this day? Tell me. Huh? It's a tough question, huh? But it's important. Maybe we should live every day like it's going to be the last day of our life. Daniel, what would you do?
Well, first off, I'd have a great breakfast.
That's a good
French
start.
toast, pancakes, all my favorite cereals. And then I would...
Saturated fat and a lot of sugar.
Oh, yeah. I'd load up ice cream. And then see everybody I love and tell them I love them and see you in the next world. And just make sure that everybody I care about,
don't focus
I see.
where you're going. Focus on what you're going to do in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I would
Be
do.
with your loved ones.
Exactly.
Do things that you probably love to do. Yeah?
Adrian says, spend it with my close friends and family.
Yes. So if you think this way, you will see what is really important in life. And unfortunately, we neglect it many of the days of the year. Do we? We neglect that. So if we just knew how the 7th day is important and how it's going to determine the quality of the upcoming 6 days, of how we're going to handle the war of the 6 days, the days of the week, it's like a war. Yeah, you're going to work, you're going to see challenges. Oh, this one did that to me. This project fell apart. I'm going in the street. There's traffic. You know, it's like that's kind of the battlefield. On Shabbat, it says it's a strike. There is no war anymore, unless I want to fight during Shabbat. So Saturday, it's called Shabbat. Shabbat is coming from the word to strike. But what do you mean to strike? It means that it says that the opponent system, it's been put on hold during that day. That's what the Kabbalists explain. That the opponent system is been put on hold. Why? Because the Creator wants to charge me with energy. So during the upcoming 6 days, I can make it happen. I can do whatever I want to do physically, mentally, spiritually, everything, on all levels. So on that day, we do a lot of meditations, we do prayers, we connect, we dine in a different way. So there is a special 3-column system meals that we're doing. If sometimes together here, people, it's very hard to gather people for 24 hours on a weekly basis. So many of us have to do it at home, yeah? But when I started in the center with the Rav, and I was in Los Angeles, on every Shabbat, we had 300-400 people for hours. Let's say Shabbat was ending 8-7 people would stay, the Rav will keep them, we're studying, we're connecting till midnight. So we extended even. It was such a powerful thing. These days, it's not easy to tell someone, listen, you have to take off the phone, you have to take off of your worries, or feeling sorry for your, it's hard. People need their privacy, so it's harder to connect these days. But my recommendation from now on, that all of us need to be aware. Sunset Friday till after sunset Saturday, there is a different energy there. Better make use of it. You want to know more detail how to make use of it? We have that information for you. With pleasure, you can even connect. We make it also available, the connection online, so people can connect from wherever they are. But also, just to be aware that it's a special day that I can charge, and to act different than how I act during the week. To take it under consideration that it's a powerful 24 hours. I can receive messages, I can charge myself, I can visualize how my week going to be. Just be aware of that. It's a very, very, very accessible way for me to bring my life to be much more vivid.
What if you have to work that day?
Huh?
What if you have to work on that?
Quit.
Can you repeat?
Quit your job?
What if you have to work on that day? So, yes, it's a good question. So, whoever works, just understand that it's a different day. It's not a regular working day. So, my soul is more connected. So, take it under consideration. If you ever have the option to not work on that day, better for you. Better for you. But it's okay also to work on that day with a different mindset. More questions online? So the Kabbalists explain to us that holy days are not really holy days, they are holy days, as it says here, are days of power in which we can connect to a unique, complete circuit of energy. According to Kabbalah, holy days are part of the universal spiritual system designed to support all of humanity. So if it's a window, can it be belonging just to one religion or another? What do you think? If it's a technology, it means that only the Jewish people need to celebrate Passover and Rosh Hashanah? No, it's a window. They adopted it, the Jewish people adopted these teachings that have been written in the Bible, but we know that the Bible itself, it's meant to be a universal wisdom that's meant to come to all people of the world. Even Moses, when he put together the Torah, he wrote it in 70 different languages. So all the nations of the world had access to it. It was a technology. Whoever turns it into a religion, it's a fraud. It's a fraud. It's to steal energy from humanity. So those windows meant to be accessible by everyone. Of course, different nations serve different purposes. It's okay, yeah, it's true. But it's not necessarily the separation we know in religion.
So Kabbalah is Jewish mysticism. Other religions have their mystical teachings. Sufism is Muslim mysticism. There's others. So is there any overlap between the different mystical disciplines, or any similarities, or does Kabbalah say we're the one and only mysticism and the rest aren't, or inferior?
So according to what we know, the Kabbalistic wisdom predate the religion. So if you look at the frame of history and how things evolved, yeah, Abraham wasn't Jewish. Yeah? Moses wasn't Jewish. Judaism was formed later on from a tribe called Judea. It was much after. So the way Israelites, yeah, the nation of Israel is a specific nation, yeah? The Hebrews, they call it the Hebrews. That's where the language Hebrew came from. But so when you say in Kabbalah it's the Jewish mysticism, it's not completely correct, because the Jewish people were the one that had the greater memory from their ancestors, which is Abraham, that wasn't belong to any religion then, that they adopted what he revealed, that they adopted what Moses revealed. They just adapted it to their and created a religion out of it. But Abraham had many other students. Students came to Abraham from all over the world. They came from India, they came from China. He was very famous because of his revelation. So everyone came and learned from him. And everyone took from him whatever he took and went back and created different disciplines. So there are very much a lot of similarities among all the traditions out there. A lot of similarities. Because everything comes from one. Kabbalah, it's the one source that was given to those prophets as how this was structured. It wasn't really meant to be a religion or anything. You understand? So that's the reason it's universal. It's supposed to work for everyone, because it just explains how energy travels, how the world's structured. And everyone is living in this world looking to charge himself with energy. That's it. So unfortunately, with time, separation, people took credit and say, oh, Rosh Hashanah, it's ours. Yeah? We are having these traditions, but it's not meant to be this way, because it's universal. I'm telling you, we've been teaching this way for 100 years. And people from all sectors of life are coming and celebrating with us Rosh Hashanah, if they're Muslim, if they're Christian, if they're Hindu, whatever you, and they're getting energy. So how come? You don't have to be with a certain title to connect to energy. That's the whole point. And that's the reason there are so many similarities among all the different traditions. You know? But if someone is focusing and saying, oh, mine is better, yours is better, we are separate, we are different, It's just creating separation. It doesn't really connect us all as human. We said Rosh Hashanah is the birth of the human soul. Every human has a soul to one degree or another. Yes. So it's the birth of all of us. It's not religion. Is that making sense?
We have a question, Felix. So how come Abraham received the knowledge of Kabbalah? What was special about him?
So he lived in a time where everyone were idol worshipping, because everyone looked for something tangible to say this is God. So some people look at the sun and say, wow, the God, the sun is the God, so powerful, so much light, so much warmth, so much energy. So they believed in the sun. Some people, they build different gods, status. And his father were actually an idol worshiper. His father used to sell like gods to people. Say, you believe in that? Okay, take this type of God, take this type of God, take this stone, take that. So he said, wait a second. He was a very elevated person. Say, there must be one energy that's overlooking everything. So he called the father of monotheism, that there is only one source of energy for everyone. He is considered to be the father of monotheism. So he was able to reveal the wisdom, and he put together the first Kabbalistic text, which called the Book of Formation, how everything was formed. And he showed there 4,000 years ago, talking about astrology, talking about those months. He showed us, he was the first one to show us the structure. And he showed us the first one to show us the connection of the Hebrew letters. There were no nation yet. There was nothing. There were no titles yet. He discovered the Hebrew letters. And he showed how those letters are part of the vehicle of the Creator to create the physical reality and the soul and everything. Hebrew coming from passage. Hebrew, Ivrit, ma'avar. I mentioned that to you already. Ma'avar, to pass energy. Is that okay? Is answering?
Yes, thank you.
So what do we do in order to, after you get, the cycle of the year, and you will know a little bit about the different windows, what any of them represent, because each of them represents something different. Yeah. On Rosh Hashanah, we are erasing of the old self. We're starting a new self. It's a rebirth. So it's a rebirth. Yeah. We're erasing all the negativity. But then there is a process of 6 months till the spring comes, fruits comes about. It's also related to the seasons. You understand? So if you expect during these 6 months really to see your most revelation, you might be surprised why things are not really happening. So what do? We need to have knowledge. We need to read. We need to study. And then when we come together, mind-like people come joining together with the same intention, it's much more powerful. So those windows in time is never meant to be celebrated alone. We meant to come together, community, yeah? While we're doing them, as we said, we meditate, we pray, we set intention. We say, I want to control that day. I want to control. If it's the new year, I'm about to plant a seed that control the year. If it's the month, the new moon, I want to control what is about to happen during this month. If it's a week, I want to control what's going to happen during the upcoming 7 days. Okay? And we have different tools that we're using, different instruments. Some of them a bit weird, but that's part of the technology. Yeah, some of them are funny and they kind of look irrelevant to the world that we are, but they all symbolize something. They are tools that determined thousands of years ago to be used. Okay? So what the Zohar says, specific judgment come to our world when the sun sets and the nights descend. At the stroke of midnight, another transformation occurs. As the Asum as the awesome and compassionate light of mercy appears in the cosmos. According to the wisdom of the Zohar, whoever delves into the study of Torah during this time of mercy after midnight shall merit a portion in the world to come. Okay, so now we're going to start breaking the day. The hours of the day also have meaning. So the morning, early morning, represent the time of mercy. This is one of the best time to meditate, to connect, to plant the seed for the day. Yeah? The afternoon, it's times of judgment. So we in love with sunsets, yeah? But sunsets, it's times that a little bit, they're not the best. It's beautiful, but in terms of the cosmic time, it's not the best time of the day. Yeah? It's time of luck, it's time of restriction, the sun going down, the light is kind of going down, we're switching. Yeah? And the night, it's the center column, it's actually, it's in between, it's not as judgmental as the afternoon. But after midnight, we enter into a new frame. But the midnight is not the midnight that we know. The midnight is calculated according to sunrise. Because sunrise changes, isn't it? It changes. So I need to see what is midday. So there are calendars to check those things. So midnight sometime, let's say for now, midnight is around 1:13 a.m. It's not midnight, it's 1:13 a.m. That's what's called the midnight. So when this time kicks in, it's amazing time to connect, to pray, to meditate, up to dawn. Up to dawn, there is a window that says that the moment I'm feeling lack in my life, pain, something is stuck, I'm studying on this frame, I'm waking up specially to study on this time, to meditate, there is a string of mercy that's going to escort me during the entire day. It's very, very powerful. Okay? Say again?
Cosmic midnight is midday, between midday and dawn, right? Did you say? Or is it sunset?
Cosmic midnight is to be measured according to sunrise. So from sunrise to sunset, the middle, and that will bring the midnight, 12 hours later.
Tonight, sunset, and then tomorrow's sunrise. Cosmic midnight is between that?
Exactly.
Okay, just want to clarify.
Something like that. It's a little bit more complicated, but there are already ways on the internet to calculate it automatically. So it's easier. It's much easier. There is a calendar called Maizmanim that you can access everywhere, and it changes. So everywhere you are, the midnight changes. So if you are in Israel, it's a different midnight. If you are here, it's because it's all related to the sun and the moon. What is your frame of point?
Yeah, I've done a few meditations in the last year, and I've noticed that the ones that I did at like 4 a.m. had a more profound effect on me and just felt more powerful just by virtue of doing it around the cosmic midnight time. And I was also wondering, is that also due to the fact that like everyone else is off in dreamland and you're conscious at this time when everything around you is quiet? Does that have an impact on your ability to tune in to these higher powers?
Absolutely, yeah. So because most of the people around us are asleep, it means that there is less noise in the cloud, yeah? It's less noisy and like, so this is what happened in those hours. No air condition, no noise. Perfect, you see? She just demonstrated for us. She turned the AC, now I can hear it. I can hear what the Creator wants. When there is so much noise and so much reactivity coming from people trying to live their lives, of course, it's more difficult to connect. And also because that's the reason why midday is considered to be more judgment, because people been through the day, they already accumulated a lot of trauma from the day and this and that, so it's very heavy too. Yeah. But midnight and dawn dawn are very powerful by itself. It's the most merciful time of the day. And there is so dawn. What is dawn? Dawn is when the sun is in the horizon. Yeah, that's very, very powerful time also. It's when the first light comes in. Very powerful time to connect. But it's before the rays coming in. Yeah, of course. So neuroscientists say that it's very important the first thing you wake up is to connect with the sun. The rays, very important, very important. It's all connected. Yeah, no difference. So yes. Okay, about the calendars now. So there is the Gregorian calendar, solar cycle, Western culture, 365 days a year. Some of them are 30, some of them 31, just to come to 365. There is the lunar calendar, Islamic culture. So they measure everything on their lunar. So according to, if it's 28 days of a cycle, that's creating all different cycle. But the Kabbalah said, no. We have to consider both of them. They're all very important. The moon and the sun are very important. So we need to create a calendar that merges the two. And that's the reason it's so accurate. So the lunar solar calendar too it's the idea of how I can bring a cycle with the same exact angle that was last year. So it's about cycles, isn't it? So if it's a new year, it has to be the same day exactly in terms of the cosmic chart. You understand what I mean? Because if there is a planetary movement, you want to catch it exactly in the same moment, because this is energy. They're all creating different energy in different phases. So that's what the Kabbalistic calendar does. It tries to measure and to bring you to exactly the same point. And that's leading to something. It's leading to an additional month that happens every 4 years. It's very interesting. So it's called a leap year. You heard about the leap year? Yeah, we are in a leap year. So why do you know that? Because we don't see it in our Gregorian calendar, a leap year. How you know about it? Somehow we know, isn't it? But it's coming, leap year is coming from the Kabbalistic calendar. What is it? It's because there is some kind of a gap that's been measured. Huh? Yeah, but there is no extra month, isn't it? So leap year, Kabbalistically, because it's Kabbalistic calendar predating the Gregorian calendar, because Gregorian calendar, there was a Caesar called Augustus, so he said, please name the month of me. And there was one called Novemberus, so name the month of me. And that's how the Gregorian calendar was created. Yeah? But it was a bit after. So when we're talking about, it's funny, but that's how it is. People with the ego say, yeah, I want the month for me. Augustus. Yeah, and probably there are other names that I don't recall right now. Julio, exactly, or July, yeah, Julius Caesar, yeah, exactly. So this is how the Gregorian came about, but we're talking about something that predates that. So the leap year was an ability really to bring back the cycle of the moon, the cycle of the sun to the same position. So you need an extra month. But also there is a lot of meaning to it, and it's usually leap year are much more powerful than a regular year. Yeah? So what it means Kabbalistically? Extra month, 13 months. So the Kabbalists decided that who is going to be the 13 months is going to be double Pisces. So there is double Pisces months. And also for that, there is a lot of wisdom behind it. I don't want to overwhelm you. But this is how those 3 calendars works. Okay, so we created, of course, because it's a technology, we build up a calendar that is universal to allow us to know where we're standing on a daily basis. And we said the Kabbalah is already known how to measure if there is what we call a positive day, a negative day, an holy day. Okay, so you can find those and you can actually download an app that you can start making a use of and follow it. So you have like 2 QR codes here for whatever phone you have, and you can actually start working with this calendar, understanding what comes about. Yeah? Yes.
Is it true that there's 6,000 years for our human species?
7, you mean?
No, I mean, I heard there's 6,000 years till we are done with this life. Because I see this 5,700 and, well, this is out of date, but
Yes, exactly.
yeah, for a correction or something.
So according to the Kabbalistic calendar, how can you start to measure things? Who can start counting? Can animal count? Huh? Did you hear animals telling you, a dolphin saying, listen, I'm 5 years old. What you talking about? No, only a human with consciousness can count. So it appears to be that the human soul was created 5,784 years ago. Okay? And it's predicted that there are 7 millennia. The 6 millennia is very also important because this is the time of Shabbat. After you finish the 6,000, you enter to the frame of 7, the 7 millennia. Is that making sense? All the world going to change on the 7 millennia. But it's not going to be exactly the end of the world, by the way. We're going to have a 10 millennia. I won't get into details now, and we'll do a more advanced course about that.
Does that mean that your calendar repeats itself?
No. We are in year 5,784. So they say, when is there going to be the time of redemption? After year 6,000. This means how many years we remain with? 216, something like 216?
What was 5,000?
784. 16.
That's how old the human soul is? I thought it was older than that.
5,706. There were other creatures, but they couldn't count because they didn't have the human soul inside of them. They had something different. It was still on the animalistic part. Only when the human was answered, then Adam could start counting.
Wait.
So are you saying before 5,700 years ago, there was no humans?
No humans. There were creatures, whatever they was, or Homo sapien, I don't know what they called them, but they weren't humans yet. The human soul wasn't inserted to them yet. And that's the reason they couldn't count. And they couldn't create different technologies, whatever you.
Oh, okay. No, I wonder how that connects with Greek mythology. But that might be a different question for a different time.
Yeah.
I guess as a clarification, then the starting point of humanity would be the consciousness that was able to count the years.
Exactly. Because counting, yeah, you need to have consciousness to do that. You need to have this brain capacity to do that. Yeah, in a way.
So we will say that within 216 years, the world will change. So we are going to go to another cycle, and it's going to be peaceful.
They say it's going to be world peace.
World peace. End of
The
these
question is what we're going to do in that frame. If we're going to kill each other, all of us, self-destruct, or we're going to be excited and start getting along. It's a choice. We have a free will. Understand? So I would like to be there and enjoy it, but I hope we just won't gonna kill each other.
Sorry, I just have to refer to this diagram. So you mean that this 7 is the physical world, right? So that means we have 7,000 in the physical world, and then the other 3 would be in the non-physical world. That's
You mean the 10 millennia?
yeah. So the
I don't
next
want to get into that.
3,000. Okay.
I just read about a few things, but it's very advanced. Let's focus on not going to self-destruct, okay, in the next 260 years. Let's focus on that.
I'll be dead anyway by then. So.
No. There is all the technology to be immortal already. We're going to be immortals, by the way.
Yeah. So I just subscribed to this calendar and described that. I just see that today is a negative day. So what should we avoid, and how it is calculated? If you can explain your words.
Negative
And
day,
what's
as we
what?
say, there is no negative or positive.
Yeah, but
It's just could be more challenging day. Okay? So to be more cautious, to be more aware, to meditate more, to refrain from being reactive, and so on and so on. It's just a mark. It's a tiny mark. But if you're not used to, and all your days were all the same every day, you won't see the difference. Yeah, for you every day is the same. That was your belief system. No Shabbat, no holidays, no this, no that. Now you're saying, okay, there is a difference. So let me put my attention. True or not? It's all about what you put attention to.
Yeah. Over the years, I also pay attention to wherever the moon cycle is, in what constellation. Sometimes, for instance, as example, if it is in an air sign, it's more lighter. If it is in a fire sign, you sometimes get people more easily get into arguments.
Sure. Absolutely. So we talked that every month has different energy, but every full moon, it's a merging of energy. So it doesn't matter which full moon is, there's a lot of energy. New moon is a lot of energy, but full moon is a lot of energy also. So you see that actually a lot of negative things happen on new moon, on full moons, because people don't know what to do with this energy. So they just go and do negative things. But if you make a use of this energy to create, then you're in a good place. But people don't know what to do. So there's many thoughts coming to them because there is so much energy available and they don't know how to handle it. So they translate into something very impulsive and reactive. Not by coincidence, we have full moon parties, by the way. I've been to a few of those in my youth.
Okay, so new moon is the beginning of the month, so it's lighter. But full moon, well, I guess is that the midpoint, so the 15th of the month?
Yeah, it's the seed of the month, but the full is when there is unification between the actual sun of that month and the actual moon of that month, so it's even stronger.
So there's more energy then, and then the energy wanes?
Energy start to wane after the 15, yeah, if you want to understand that too. So it's grow from the first of the month till the 15th and start to wane. So if you're born in the second phase of the month, it's a bit less of energy. Just for you to know. But don't judge yourself because of that. Because there are many parameters, and anyways you chose this day. Yes? Is it interesting? Guys, it's fascinating, no?
We have a question.
Novemberus, Julius.
Does that mean we can use full moon as a booster for our work?
Absolutely. Yes. He wants to.
Just to give you an example, in my business, when the moon is on the rise, somehow the business rises up to the full moon. After the full moon, somehow it slows down. So I'm used to it. I don't know why, but I don't mean every month, but mainly it is a rise as the moon starts, the business, customers, and everything is, and after it slows down.
It's interesting, but it doesn't mean that you can take off on the other 15.
No, I'm not taking off.
You need to be in a different phase. You maybe planting, and then the harvesting is on the first phase. Could be.
We should also realize
hospitals. That's why the word lunatic comes
Uh-huh.
from La Lune,
Yeah,
Luna.
true.
Oh, he's a lunatic because of the
Yeah, and the moon effects on the tides and
Yeah.
rises. Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
So imagine yourself how it affects us because we are 70 something percent water. So the phases of the moon is affecting us.
I need another clarification.
Please.
Now we're in the year, what, 5750 approximately?
78,
78, yeah.
84.
So there have been discoveries in, let's say, one of them in Turkey, and they're known to be excavated. The archaeologists found, and they're known to be about 12 to 13,000 years old. Now, I was wondering, the people who developed that complex or whatever they uncovered, what consciousness did they have?
You need to ask them. I don't know.
Pardon me? No, it's called Göbekli Tepe. It's a
Yeah, there are many
Sumerian.
different discoveries.
Yeah.
So showing different evidence.
Yeah, these are modern looking.
Looking, yeah, they look and everything, but we don't have real evidence. You know?
No, but they're like temples.
Why the most, we don't have books. We don't have, you understand? We don't have wisdom that coming from those creatures.
They're hieroglyphics and
Yeah.
they say alignments, but there's no.
Could be. But this tipping point of that calendar show on a change that happened.
Oh, I understand.
Yes, and it's some level of the soul that was inserted to humanity that created a change. That's the point. There were many creatures, creation started 13.8 billion years ago. That's what they predict right now. And everything started to evolve since then, and there were many phases, but that's the phase.
Be like there was intelligence. There seemed to be intelligence at that from 13,000 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know what type of intelligence though. This is the question, if they... I go according to this calendar, and that's what calendar says. So can I argue with something that I don't have any facts of? You can say that. You can say, yeah, but there were like balloons that had, Mickey Mouse. But say, okay, if that's what you want to say, it has to be based on something. I'm basing it on thousands of books that were written.
But they're not saying they're not human souls, right? They're just saying we just started counting it.
No, they say because for them this is the creation of the human soul.
So just to clarify, so the number.
Very clear what they said.
Yeah.
It was a certain creation that allowed a certain part of the creator to be inserted to this materialistic body, which was different than the phase before. That's what the text says.
So actually, just to clarify, so looking at this number, right? So we're supposed to think that it's not a symbolic. So all these 5,780 years were actually kind of calendar years in the sense that you just described, right? Because I always tend to think that it's kind of a symbolic.
The 7 days of creation,
No.
yeah.
7 days of creation, and actually
It's not the same of this. 7 days of creations are not according to the frame of time that we see today.
Okay,
It's like first day of creation, 13.8 billion years ago, evolving till this very day. You understand? So you cannot measure it in the same way.
but because I was always thinking that actually this number is also kind of symbolic. But what you say,
No.
okay, there is a point in time
So what's the point to count something
where
which
the
is
count
symbolic?
started and goes. So each year is actually 365 days or plus minus, not something else.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I have a very unusual question, and maybe some might know what I'm talking about, and some might not know. Now we're having a lot of artificial energy that's being created, and certain areas are far more intense than other areas. Now, people who are sensitive to that energy can feel it, and some other people, they don't feel a thing. Does anyone have any information on that at all?
AI?
Well, for instance, I won't go into details, but there was a reason for whatever where I went to live. I won't go into it, but I noticed that even when I come up to this area, it's far more intense than maybe down by the lake. And
It's because the Kabbalah Center is there.
Well, yeah,
Of
but
course.
well, no, I don't mean particular. This is a beautiful energy in the building itself.
Of course.
But I notice when I get off the subway and I go out on Yen Street, it is far more wow. So I just wonder if anyone else has experienced it or if I'm the lone wolf in that. So
Yeah, the planet Earth is also divided to points of energy. So there are many points of energy, so some of them are higher, some of them are lower. And the Kabbalist talks about it, absolutely. Especially about Jerusalem, that's considered to be the highest. And that's the reason so many people, so many nations fought on conquering Jerusalem and wanting, and still there are so many debates over Jerusalem because it's holding the most energy of the world. Understand? The most important asset in the world.
She said resonates with me because I get that sense too.
Sure.
Different places I go to have different energies, and I really believe that, as we know, energy doesn't disappear; it just changes form. Like energy can't.
But you cannot really know what's the actual reason. It could be many things. It could be events that happen in certain things. It could be a graveyard that for centuries are there underground. It could be so many things. Yeah, but if you don't feel so great in one area, don't be there. Your environment is very important. Absolutely. Okay, guys, so we have to close the class. So you want to say a few announcements?
Yes,
Elideh?
very fast because we already almost 9. So just if you would like to learn more about what windows in times we have, like what is it every new moon, which energy that we are bringing, you can have days of connection and days of power. Days of connection, we are giving you a 20% discount. So if you can use that code days 2024, you can have a 20% discount. And we have it online and in person here in the bookstore. And then another important, next Sunday, we have a very, very special day. We are going to have a global Zohar Day of Unity. What does this mean? Like every Kabbalah center in the world, like unites volunteers, teachers, students to go outside and to give Zohars to every person that wants to receive it. And this time here in Toronto, we're going to be on High Park. We're going to meet at 12 p.m. If you would like to join, it's an opportunity to share, to bring more light, to share a lot, really. So if you are maybe not able to join, but you have some people that you can offer Zohars, we can give you some and you can take them with you and you can give it to your family or to your community. Also for the online people, we can also I will get in touch with you with an email or something. You can reach out so we can send you some Zohars for free, maybe just pay the shipment, but we can offer the option for you to give. And next week, the next class, it's going to be reincarnation on Wednesday, June 5th, 7 p.m. You are very welcome to join if you would like to learn more about the soul's journey, online and in person. So thank you very much. Yes? Yes, it's kabbalah3 is the next class. You are opening it for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, new moon. It's on Thursday, 6th of June, new moon of Gemini at 7:30 p.m. Okay, online and in person too. Okay, thank you, Maren. Nice. Huh?